I realized my neighbor had been lying to me the entire time I was helping them, and by the time I figured it out, I was already in too deep. I moved into my apartment about a year ago, and overall it's been quiet. Normal people, normal routines. A few weeks after I moved in, my neighbor across the hall, Chris, introduced himself. He seemed friendly, a little awkward, but harmless. We'd say hi, make small talk, nothing serious. A couple of months later, he knocked on my door one evening looking stressed. He said he'd locked himself out and asked if he could use my phone to call his landlord. I didn't think much of it. I helped him out, and that was that. After that, he started asking for small favors. Borrowing tools. Asking me to hold packages if he wasn't home. Watching his place for a day or two when he traveled for work. It all felt normal, neighborly. I figured we were just being decent humans. Then the stories started. Chris began sharing how hard his life was. He talked about medical bills, an ex who ruined him financially, a job that was always on the verge of firing him. He never directly asked for money, but the hints were constant. I felt bad for him. Anyone would. One night, there was a leak in his apartment while he was out of town. The building manager called me because I was listed as his emergency contact. That surprised me. I never agreed to that, but I went in to help anyway. That's when things stopped adding up. His apartment didn't look like someone barely scraping by. New electronics. Designer clothes. Expensive-looking furniture. Way nicer than mine. It didn't match the story he'd been telling me for months. I brushed it off at first. People prioritize different things. But then I noticed paperwork on his table. Multiple pay stubs. All from different companies. All recent. When he got back, I casually asked about his job situation. He told me, again, that he was barely holding on. That's when I started paying attention. I noticed new packages arriving almost daily. Late-night food deliveries. Rideshare cars picking him up at odd hours. And slowly, I realized he wasn't struggling, he was hustling. Multiple side jobs. Online sales. Freelance work. He wasn't broke at all. He just liked being seen that way. The final straw came when he asked me to co-sign something temporary. He said his credit was wrecked because of his ex and promised it was no risk to me. He said I was the only person he trusted. That sentence hit me hard. I told him I needed time to think. That night, I did some digging. Nothing illegal, just public information. Turns out, he'd pulled this exact routine before. Different apartment, different neighbor, same pattern. Oversharing, sympathy, small favors, then bigger asks. I confronted him the next day. He didn't deny it. He just looked tired and said, "It works. People like helping someone who looks like they need it." That made me feel stupid and angry at the same time. I cut contact immediately. Told the building manager everything. He moved out a month later without saying goodbye. Now here's what's been messing with my head. Part of me feels used and embarrassed. Another part of me wonders if I should have seen it sooner. And a small, uncomfortable part of me wonders how many other people out there are quietly playing the same game and getting away with it. So I'm asking honestly. If someone manipulates you using sympathy, but never technically breaks the law, are they just surviving, or are they still a bad person? Where would you draw the line?